What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Lexi J Wellness Podcast. I am your host, Lexi Johnson, and this is my husband and co-host, Brett Johnson. We're going to have another episode of In or Out, and in these episodes, we kind of just have a random assortment of things that people have various opinions on. And we're going to tell you whether we're in or we're out on these things, and just kind of our reasoning behind it. We actually haven't shared what our stances are, and these are pretty lighthearted. They're not very controversial, or maybe they are. We'll see. So we just wanted to kind of engage with our audience and see what your guys' opinions are, because it's fun to hear that feedback of just differing opinions and how different we all are. So without further ado, in or out. This is the second time we've done this. Are you excited?
I'm pumped. Let's get into it. Let's do
it. If you haven't already listened to the episode about enthusiasm and how we show it differently and how our voices show it differently, I think that was such a great example of it, because Brett's "I'm pumped" was so monotone. Also, if you're watching this, we're on YouTube. I am freshly self-tanned, so usually when I'm in this state, Brett refers to me as a dirty Rugrat doll, because it looks
so
like
lovingly.
I just got into a mud fight. So apologies for that, but the show must go on. Brett Johnson, are you in or out on...
Let's get opinionated.
What?
Let's get opinionated.
Let's get opinionated. Are you in or out on food flavored pizza? And for anyone questioning that, because when I first heard that, I was like, well, is pizza not food? We mean like taco pizza, cheeseburger pizza,
fajita pizza,
okay,
barbecue chicken pizza.
All right, are you in or out on that?
I think I'm out, because I'm a pretty
okay, go ahead.
You want me to go ahead?
Yes.
All right. I'm a pretty traditional pizza guy. Like, I even like things as basic as just pepperoni pizza, which I know is your go-to.
Don't say
all right,
my
sorry.
stance.
I won't speak for you. Sorry. But like meat lovers is about as like exotic as I get. And even then, like, I don't like traditional meat lovers. I don't like bacon on my pizza.
Yeah, you are. That is something that you're very opinionated on it. That's an unpopular opinion. Brett doesn't like bacon added to things.
Yeah.
Like, he'll request bacon off of a burger or off of a sandwich, off of a salad. I think a bacon...
With the exception of a BLT. But
that would just be an LT.
Right.
That would just be a lettuce tomato.
A BLT.
That would be the shittiest sandwich ever.
Says the girl who eats cucumbers and peppers for lunch.
Just an LT? I would love if you went to a restaurant, ordered a BLT, hold the B.
Well, yeah, I don't know why. I just don't like bacon like added to things. Like, like whenever at restaurants they have like mac and cheese and they'll add bacon to it.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Like, no, it's disgusting. Why would you add bacon and ruin good mac and cheese? Like, that's not a flavor that I want added to mac and cheese.
See, I don't like when they add it to sweet things like on
the donuts.
I don't like that. But throw it in some mac and cheese. It on.
I think I would rather have like the bacon on like a glazed or like a maple glazed donut. I think that's a thing.
Yeah, that's too different of a flavor for me.
Like the sweet and savory.
Yeah, I'm not
I don't know. I just feel like bacon, you can't just add it to everything and call it a culinary masterpiece.
Well, we're not
That's just me.
We're not claiming to be Julia Child here.
I know.
Bacon is
I just don't like it as like an added thing to something.
Yeah, that's
like
fine.
Bacon's bacon by itself. I love bacon by itself, but
we are kind of getting off of our pizza, and I have.
Okay, but my point is,
you're out.
I'm out. Okay.
However, I want to propose something and see, because I know you're in on breakfast pizza. What about that?
Oh, yeah, you're right. But is that like that's a
different.
That's like a meal. Like it's a meal.
Okay,
it's like a description. It's different.
You just prefer dinner flavored pizza.
So like, there's taco pizza, there's cheeseburger pizza, there's
breakfast pizza. That's eggs. That's food. It's just not called egg and sausage meal pizza.
Okay, that's the one.
So you're in.
I think I'm still out, but that's like the one like exotic pizza that I'll have. Like Casey's breakfast pizza, not the bacon one. The bacon one's trash, but the sausage one.
See, I don't like sausage, but I recently I had a conversation in Instagram DMs today about what kryptonite Casey's Pizza is. However, I will say I am absolutely 100% out on this. I am a strict cheese or pepperoni gal, but man, can I throw it down.
Girl can eat some pizza.
That's true. It's as easy as that. I don't have any exceptions to the rule about
less
a
toppings,
meal
more
flavored
slices.
pizza.
You can throw it back faster if you have less toppings.
That's always Brett's excuse. When I have to, I'm just a fast eater in general. But when Brett and I eat pizza, I literally have to twiddle my thumbs. I have to like go take a lap around the restaurant. I'll, read a newspaper or something because I am so fast.
You'll start dishing out multiple slices to me just to try to speed me up.
I'm trying to hurry him up because one, I'm just like, I'm ready to go. I'm a fast eater in general, but man, that's always Brett's argument as to why he's so much slower eating pizza.
It makes sense though.
He has more toppings.
More calories per slice. It takes longer for me to consume it. It's more filling.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, next one.
Okay, our next in or out topic. Are you in or out on audiobooks?
See, that one's kind of a hard one for me because I haven't given them a fair shot.
That's a good response.
But so I'm just going to take a leap here and say that an audiobook is probably comparable to some, like, if you like listening to podcasts, you probably would be okay listening to an audiobook. I could be wrong there.
And you and I both like listening to podcasts.
Yeah, but I do like reading books. I like getting out a paperback book and reading it.
Yeah, I like physically turning the pages.
Right, like I don't get the same satisfaction of reading like an ebook because I have like a Nook. And it hasn't been touched in years.
No, it's been collecting dust since I've met you.
Right. I read, like, in the college, like, whenever I barely read anything, but I read, like, the Harry Potter series. I read, like, all the books on my Nook, and I don't think I've touched it since. But I don't think I would get the same satisfaction out of reading it on a Nook, and I think that that's kind of how I frame audiobooks in my mind, but, again, I haven't given it a fair shot, so I can't say that I'm out. So I'm going to say, can I be indifferent?
You got one foot in each camp. I like that your response is that you just don't have the experience to have an opinion. So I think that's important rather than just stating an opinion because you've never experienced it. That's very mature of you because I was going to say I'm out, although I also really haven't listened to audiobooks, but I love podcasts. So I could give it a shot. However, I really like to highlight in my books.
Yeah.
So
I just get so much satisfaction out of reading a book, like the physical, tangible thing.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm a little biased in that way, but yeah, I mean, to be totally transparent, I haven't ever given an audiobook a shot.
I also think part of what we enjoy is because I for sure am a visual learner, visual person, and I like collecting the books that I've read. So like we have bookcases behind the camera right here and several over there, and now we're kind of like running out of space, but to me that's a sense of accomplishment. Now
Mm-hmm.
I can start stacking. I can put another book on the shelf that I've completed,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of like a badge of honor. It's cool to see, okay, I've read all of these books where
something else I just thought of though is that I'm a visual learner. I'm not a person who what
did you hear what I just said?
I was thinking about what I was thinking. So is that what you just said?
I literally just said I'm a visual learner.
See, I wasn't even. I'm not a hearing learner.
This is a conversation. That's a big part of it.
I was genuinely thinking about if I would enjoy an audiobook.
How often do you hear what I say?
I'm going to say 80-20. Hey, I'm being honest. But yeah, okay, so did you just say you're visual? I feel like you can retain things very well if you hear it.
I was just, that was my reasoning behind why I like to collect them, because I like to see them.
Well, no, that's not what I'm saying, though. I heard you say that. I thought I missed something. No, I heard you say that. I mean, like, I am a visual learner. Like, if I can reread something that I just read,
yeah,
if there's something that I saw in a book And, I read it. I was like, man, that was good. But, I'll reread a paragraph or section if I really liked it and I want to try to retain it. I don't think that I would retain it as well if I just heard it.
I agree. And
trying to make me think I wasn't listening to you. I heard what you said.
Yeah. In the past year or so, I've realized this about myself, that the reason that I've enjoyed reading so much is that I have to be wholly focused on it. Otherwise, I won't retain it. Or otherwise, if I'm just listening to a podcast, I can passively also scroll through Instagram, or I can be just kind of zoned out and find myself very easily kind of just catching the glimpses in and out.
Right.
But if I'm reading a book, I have to be wholly invested in that activity. Otherwise,
and even if I am just kind of like reading and not comprehending, I'll catch myself real quick. Whereas I think, in a podcast, there are times that I can zone out while I'm driving and I'll be like, shit, I just missed like 3 minutes of stuff. I'm going to have to rewind it.
Yeah. And then sometimes I'm just so invested in the podcast, I'm like, shit, I missed my turn 3 miles ago.
We've discussed this multiple times. You're a liability on the road.
All right. Are you ready for our last one?
Let's hear it.
Oh, okay. I had a brain fart for a second. I was forgetting what it was. Are you in or... Oh, I smacked my mic.
Good night.
Are you in or out on repeating TV shows and movies?
I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in.
I'm in on that.
But this is one that I'm so intrigued to hear people's opinions. So if you've got feedback, if you differ than our opinions or stances, put them in the comments. I want to hear your stance and why you believe these things. I have heard, and I've read this multiple times. It makes so much sense. The reason that people like to repeat shows is that it's very comforting. It's like if you tend to have anxiety and not knowing what's going to happen can cause anxiety, or if you're just heightened, stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, then adding one more factor, one more variable that you cannot predict or know what's going to happen is not going to help the situation. Where, on the other hand, if you know exactly what's going to happen and you can quote it verbatim, it's a very comforting feeling to know exactly what's coming.
I know exactly that feeling because we don't watch new stuff very often, but we're watching Suits right now. And I am on edge all day thinking about what is going to happen when we if we have time to tune in late at night. That show, the Mike and Rachel saga, is Jessica going to get kicked out? I am just on edge.
It's so funny. It's more entertaining to watch Brett watch this new show that we're watching because he really is so invested. He's enthralled. Like this man watches this show exactly how that producer and director must have envisioned someone watching the show, because he is bought in on every relationship, every little piece of gossip and drama in it, which is it's also strange because it's definitely not our typical show. Like we watch The Office and New Girl and
Parks and Rec,
Modern Family. This is very serious. Like it's much more serious.
It's
intense and drama filled. And Brett he's here for the drama. And it's so funny.
It's not like Real Housewives. It's like,
no, but it's like there's lots of relationships and secrets and
I love it's all revolving around the law firm though. And
you don't have to make this about law. It's okay that you love love.
Well, I want Rachel and Mike to be together like forever. But I know it's too early in the show for it to like just be a happy ever after thing.
I love this about you. It was so funny. Brett and I went hiking recently, and we were hiking. This hike has the most deaths in the United States. Like more people die from hiking.
Is it the most in the U.S.?
There's not, a ton of hiking in the United States. Like not a ton of super dangerous hiking. But anyway, that's beside the point. Just to kind of give perspective that this was a very strenuous hike that we were doing. And mid-hike, Brett brings up this relationship that is in this TV show we're watching. He was like, I just don't know what's going to happen. Like, and he's hypothesizing what's going to happen in this relationship, in this fictional TV series that we're watching that probably aired a decade ago. And
It's not that old. I think it went from like
2013.
I think it went from like 2010 to 2018 or something.
2010 was 13 years ago.
We're definitely late to the game, but it didn't end then. It like began or something.
We're in the beginning.
Yeah. Okay.
A decade ago.
Don't spoil it for me. I swear to God, if somebody spoils something for me.
If you've seen Suits, please do not weigh in.
Do not talk to me.
All right. But anyway, you're out. I'm definitely out on...
No, I'm in.
I'm in, excuse me. In on rewatching
Yes.
TV shows. We're all about it. We also rewatch movies. We have some comfort movies.
See, we quote things so much, and we're so familiar with the shows. Like, we can reference things, and we already know most likely that you're going to reference it, and I'll bounce right back like the quote that follows. And
I also think that that's why people rewatch shows, is because if you're going to rewatch a show, more often than not, I think that you're going to rewatch it because it brings you back to a memory of who you first watched it with, or who that makes you think of, or do you just have fond memories of it?
See, I'm always late to shows. Like, I didn't watch The Office until I was laid up because I had torn my ACL, and I was like post-surgery in college, and I was just laid up in my bed for months.
Yeah, I opened your eyes to that.
Yeah, and see, I'm late. I never watch anything live on TV. Closest I've ever gotten is Yellowstone, and I still I jumped in like season 4, so there was no chance that I was going to be able to watch stuff live. I think I watched one episode live, or was actually like caught up. But I still love it all the same. But
Here's a question. Would you like rewatching, we'll say like Modern Family, because that's one that we've rewatched several times. Would you like rewatching Modern Family with someone else? Like, if you were in just a regular casual setting and they were watching Modern Family, rather than you and I cooking dinner, watching Modern Family?
I don't know, because you and I have, like, our senses of humor are so aligned at this point. Like, we enjoy certain parts so much. Like, if I laugh at something and somebody, like, I have watched certain shows, like, without you present, like random occasions with people that are, not accustomed to watching it with me. And it's like, why didn't you just laugh?
I know.
I laughed. Why didn't you laugh? That was funny.
I think that a lot of it is just like the experience you've come to expect with that other person that you're used to watching shows with.
Like,
whereas I'm sure, like, if you go through a breakup, those shows are going to be completely different to you now. They're going to
you have emotional attachment to them for sure.
Yeah. Imagine watching Pink Panther with
I was just getting ready to
else.
say it. Yeah, I couldn't watch Pink Panther with somebody else at this point.
Pink Panther
You
with
and I
Steve
laugh
Martin
hysterically.
is one of
that.
it's a cinematic masterpiece. It's actually
How is it not won Emmy awards?
it's very is that the right one? I think is Emmy right?
Wait, is that for like singers?
Maybe
Songwriters?
I don't know. Regardless, it deserves all the awards.
Oscars.
It's very
the Oscars.
Elementary humor.
Now you get to see how much I actually pay attention to the Hollywood scene.
It's hilarious. But yeah, that's an experience just because you and I are used to watching it. And we can predict when each other is going to laugh, which is half the fun.
Yeah.
I'm in on rewatching shows.
Yeah, I live for it, to be honest. So how could I be out? We have the same thing on rerun all the time.
It's true. All right. I am so intrigued to hear your guys' opinions on these 3 things. Tell us if you're in it or out on food flavored pizza, and tell us if you believe breakfast pizza is a food flavored pizza, or if it's in a genre of its own.
Definitely is. It's like saying the dinner flavored pizza. It's like, that's not a...
That would be the equivalent of the taco pizza or ever.
All right, we're moving on. Bless you.
Excuse me. If you're in or out on audiobooks, or if you're in or out on rewatching TV series and movies.
Let's
Do
hear
you have
it.
any last in or outs?
Like a wild card?
Yeah.
Okay. trying to think of a really good one. I had one that involved like cleaning, but that's an automatic no from you.
Are you in or out on sleeping in silence or sleeping, or
That's a good one.
are you in or out on sleeping with noise, with intentional noise? So whether that is fan noise, white rain, or is that what it's
White
called?
noise.
White noise. Some people do rain noise,
They have like
rain
white noise.
sound.
They have like white noise machines.
rainforest, things like that. Are you in or out on intentional noise while sleeping?
I'm in. Now, I have read that it's not good for you to like not be able to sleep in like total silence. So I kind of like the idea of having the noise there whenever you're entering sleep, and then it fades out. So like there's essentially like a timer on it.
Like the hatch.
Right, like our hatch has, the way I have it set up, it has rain noise for like the first 30 minutes, and then it fizzles out. And then I think that, in my mind, I might just be telling myself this, because I'm sure that I've trained myself to like fall asleep easier with that noise, but I want to be able to sleep if I don't have that noise. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
like, I don't want to
depend on it.
Yeah, I don't want to just be 100% dependent upon having some sort of white noise.
I like to think that I'm stronger than that also, but I for sure sleep up much easier when I have that noise.
It is comforting.
Yeah, and I think that it's just part of, like what I said earlier, it's just the experience you've come to expect.
Right, and it puts you in that mental mindset, like, okay, it's time for bed now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm in on that. I like intentional noise, whether it's from a fan or I like the rain noise. There's a Spotify playlist that I'll play. I'm in on that for sure.
Yep, that was a good one.
All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. It's been a good episode of In or Out. As always, if you guys have any feedback or any future In or Out topics that you want us to debate, talk about, put them in the YouTube comments and we'll make sure to hit them up. But if you got anything out of it, if you would, have anyone that would find value in it, we'd love for you to share the show as always. But I hope you guys have a great week. We'll talk to you later.